Your basic right angle trig is all about ratios in relation to an angle. So the three we are going to talk about are sine, cosine, and tangent. And the way it works is that sine of an angle, like A, is equal to the opposite divided by the hypotenuse. Cosine of angle A is the adjacent. Adjacent means next to, but the thing you have to keep in mind is the adjacent is never the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is always the hypotenuse, can't be the adjacent. So adjacent means next to, cosine is adjacent divided by the hypotenuse, and tangent of an angle, angle A in this case, is the opposite side divided by the adjacent side. So these ratios are always the same, but it's always in relation to an angle. The way to remember these easily is to remember SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. So the way it works is that sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Keep in mind, sine, cosine, and tangent for your normal trigonometry is only going to be used with right triangles. So you have to have a right triangle to use this. But let's put some numbers in here so you can see how this works. So if I ask you for the sine of angle A, remember SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So in this case, the sine of A would be 3 over 5. The cosine of angle A, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent side is the side next to A, which is 4/5. And the tangent of angle A, tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is 3/4. Now, my angle A here is my point of reference, but I can change all that. I can go up here and use an angle B. So if I asked you for the sine of angle B, well, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite side of angle B is 4, and the hypotenuse is still 5. The cosine of angle B, the side next to angle B that's not the hypotenuse is the 3. So that would be 3. Cosine, again, is adjacent over hypotenuse, 3 over 5. And the tangent of angle B is opposite over adjacent. Well, again, opposite angle B is 4. And the adjacent side is never the hypotenuse, is the other side, the one next to, 4 over 3. So we're always going to use the acute angles when you use our normal right angle trig. So it's either going to be, in this case, either A or B. We won't use the right angle. So here's an example of how to use this. If I wanted to find x and y, and I had a triangle with a 20-degree angle in it, and I knew the hypotenuse was 10. Let's say we want to find y. To find y, I have to remember SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. Y is the opposite. It's opposite to 20. 10 is the hypotenuse. So I look at SOHCAHTOA and I see that I have opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is the S, which stands for sine. So I know that the sine of 20 will equal the opposite, y, over the hypotenuse, 10. The sine of 20 is just a decimal, so I'm going to cross multiply here. Y times 1 is y, and I'll multiply 10 times sine 20, 10 times the sine of 20. So you have to make sure your calculator is in degrees. Degrees, often calculators default to radians. If you use Desmos on the web, you need to click on the little wrench icon in the upper right corner and change it from radians to degrees. Radians are a way to measure angles based on circumference. We're sticking with degrees for now, so make sure you're in degrees. So I'll punch in 10 sine 20, and I'll round that to the 10th, and I get about 3.4. If I want to find x, I look at the 20 degrees, and in relation to the 20, x is next to it. It's the adjacent side. And again, 10 is the hypotenuse, so I'm looking at adjacent and hypotenuse. And adjacent and hypotenuse are the c, cosine. So I see that the cosine of 20 is equal to the adjacent, x, over the hypotenuse, which is 10. And just like sine of 20, cosine of 20 is just a decimal. So I'm going to cross multiply. X times 1 is x. 10 times cosine 20 is 10 cosine 20. And I'll punch that in my calculator, making sure it's in degrees, not radians. 10 times the cosine of 20, rounding to the 10th, is about 9.4. In both of these examples, we ended up multiplying to find our answer, but sometimes you divide to find your answer. So here are two more examples. In this example, let's find x first. So looking at my angle, 40 degrees, x is the adjacent, and the only other side I have is the 15, and 15 is the opposite. And so I'm looking at opposite and adjacent. That's there at the end. That's the TOA. That's tangent. So the tangent of 40 degrees is equal to the opposite, which is 15, over the adjacent, which is x. Tangent of 40 is just a decimal, so we're going to cross multiply. I get x times the tangent of 40 degrees is equal to 1 times 15, or 15. And to get rid of multiplication, I will divide. So to get x by itself, I'll divide both sides by the tangent of 40 degrees. And I'll take 15 and divide it by the tangent of 40 degrees and round that to the 10th, and I get about 17.9. Let's find y. To find y, I'm going to use in general, try to avoid using rounded lengths. You could theoretically use the 17.9, but you're better off, you'll be more accurate if you use the length they gave you, the 15. So 15 is the opposite. I want to find y, which is the hypotenuse. So I'm looking at opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So I'll say the sine of 40 degrees is equal to the opposite, 15, over the hypotenuse, which is y. And I'll put the sine of 40 over 1, and I'll cross multiply. So it's y times the sine of 40 degrees is equal to 15, and I'll divide both sides by the sine of 40 to to get y by itself. And 15 divided by the sine of 40, rounding to the 10th, is about 23.3. So y would be 23.3. So this is how you find lengths using trigonometry. In the next video, I'll show you how to find angles. To find angles, use inverse functions. You only use inverse functions when you're looking for an angle. So that will be next.